Good morning, guys. This is day 2 of our poetry unit for reading. And as I am teaching you today, I want you to get out your reading book, your reading writing workshop book, and turn to page 165. Go ahead and do that right now. I'll give you just a second to get that done. Do 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 do. Here's some music for you. Do 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 do. Okay, now you need to turn to page 165, and we're going to talk again about some more poetry terms. Review some that we did yesterday as well. If you look on page 165, you'll see 4 boxes, and the top one says alliteration. That's a big word too, alliteration. And alliteration is where poets use words that all start with the same letter. So look at their example. Poets paint precise pictures. They all start with the letter P. So that sentence definitely is an example of alliteration. Sometimes you may only see in a sentence 2 words that start with the same letter. That actually would be considered alliteration too, but the best examples are like what they said, when you have that many words in one sentence starting with the same letter. Okay, right beside that, we talked just a smidge yesterday about free verse. And that is when your poems don't rhyme. It says Jeremy likes to write free verse poems because they don't need to rhyme. I told you yesterday I prefer poems that rhyme because it helps me to say it better. It helps me find the rhythm better. But not all poems have to rhyme, and there are beautiful ones out there that don't. The next box is limerick, and a limerick has 5 lines. Always. A limerick always has 5 lines. And this says, Dan's limerick had 5 lines and made the class laugh. So it says, how is a limerick different from other poems? Well, other poems may not have 5 lines. They may have a lot more. Maybe they have a line less. And the last one is rhyme. And it says the words cat and bat rhyme because they end in the same sound. That is a little review for you back to 1st grade even. So you probably will not have any trouble with those words or with those rhyming words. Now I'm going to, here in a minute, if you keep turning to Empanada Day, the next page, I want you to listen as I read to decide if this is a rhyming poem or if this is a free verse poem. You don't need to rhyme to be a poem. And then can you identify any alliteration at all in the poem? Okay, so I'm going to read the poem and then we'll talk a little bit about what it's about. Empanada Day, and I'm on page 166. One bite of Abuelita's empanadas, and my mouth purrs like a cat. Teach me, I beg and bounce on my feet. Teach me to make this magical treat. Abuelita smiles. Be an observer, watch and learn. Then you too can take a turn. She sets before me a ball of dough, round and golden as the sun. My eyes wide as saucers, I watch and follow. Press circles flat as pancakes. Spoon on apple slices and nose-tickling spices. Seal it all in a half-moon envelope of bliss. Together, we write down every step. As the empanadas bake and crisp in the oven, my stomach rumbling like a hungry bear. Ah, Empanada Day. So, let's talk about what is this poem about? What is really happening? Who is Abuelita and who's the narrator? It sounds to me like the narrator is probably someone young that really wants to learn how to make empanadas. But Abuelita doesn't say, well, this is what you do. She says to the narrator, be an observer. She's saying, watch what I do, and then you can give it a try. I did notice some alliteration in the third line. Go back to the third line where it says, teach me, I beg and bounce on my feet. Beg and bounce are in the same sentence, and because they both start with B, that would be considered alliteration. It doesn't really stick out and grab you like their example on the previous page, but it still is alliteration. Okay, so now it's your turn. If you go to page, I believe it's that next page, you're going to see 3 poems: Cold Feet, Bugged, and Our Washing Machine. You're going to read those poems, and then you're going to click on the Google form, answer the questions, and submit it to me. Okay? No problem. There are questions just like what we just talked about with this recording, with Empanada Day. I know you'll do great. No worries. That's all I've got for you. Have a great day, and I look forward to getting those Google forms from you. Take care. Bye.